Hey, this is Clamshell, welcome to another video. Now today, we're going to be going about Duel at Alton Towers Resort. Now before we get started with this video, hope you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss any of that thrilling content, just like the roller coasters themselves. And also make sure you vote for me in the Clamshell Awards. We've got 3 days to go now till the deadline for the first nomination, and I really want to get in that top 2 for Best Newcomer, so thank you very much. Let's get into the video. So, Duel at Alton Towers. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video, many fans of Alton Towers will say, oh, Duel's been recently upgraded, it's still got loads of years left in it. It's a discussion, it's a debate. I want to see what you guys thought. So I took to Instagram last night and I asked people what you thought about Duel, first of all. But first, before we get into that, I'm going to be getting into basically how the stats and the history behind the ride. So if you don't know the history behind the ride, basically John Waldley created Katanga Canyon and Gloomy Wood with the Runaway Mine Train and the original Haunted House back in 1992. Now, of course, 10 years of the Haunted House in 2002, we knew changes were coming. End of 2002, when it, don't miss Duel, the Haunted House Strikes Back. We knew changes were coming. So 2003, they repaired some of the effects, they added laser guns, they refurbished the ride, Duel was born. 2017 to 2018 closed season, some massive TLC work was needed. Of course, it was only a few years ago, they replaced some of the LED lights with strobes so you could see some of the mechanics, and that sort of made the ride not as good as it was. Now, even though many people, and I mean many people, are calling for Duel to be reverted back to the Haunted House, it's a catastrophe at the minute, because even though they have improved it, and I've been on both versions before the refurbishment this past season and this season as well, I've been on both, and I've got to say the refurbishments that were made on Duel were good. I'm not going to lie, they were good. But I still sort of feel that a new dart ride that reverts back to that classic dart ride should be coming into play. So what I've done is I've turned to Instagram. I've got all your thoughts down here. So if I do look down, I do apologise. I'll just look to the side here. So at __ Freddie Harris. Hello, Freddie Harris. Who says, yeah, personally I don't think they will, using Darren Brown's Ghost Train ride system to replace it, because that's what I answered. As the response for Darren Brown, the thought part was more negative than positive, mainly due to the huge price and not being as good as it should have been for the price. I think it's a good dart ride overall, but when I rode it, this is about Duel now, in the summer, for the first time, one thing I did think that was there could have been quite a few more jump scares. By that I mean a lot of unused doors and things like that. I do get where you're coming from. I think Duel needs a complete overhaul. I think get rid of the guns, but put a brand new storyline in there. Really put a new storyline in there. And that leads on to at Sophistic Coasters, who's a real generated fan. And she said, I don't think it's based on the revamp and the increased popularity this season. I think the Hollow needs some work for sure. Haunted Hollow does need some work, not gonna lie. But in Duel's case, yeah, I don't think it's based on the revamp and increased popularity this season. Duel needs a new storyline. Duel needs a new story. Duel needs an overhaul. We need to get rid of the guns, in my opinion, because the guns sometimes the guns don't work. The rotating tunnel, I don't know whether that worked towards the end of the season during Scarefest, but from what I know, it still hasn't worked this year, so maybe they're going to try and fix that over this close season. I don't know. But Duel at the minute it's getting better, but it's still not one of the best dart rides in the park. Hex is the best dart ride in the park by a clear mile now. When Duel first opened and when people were just getting used to the new gun system, it was like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. When I first experienced it when I was 6-7 years old, back in 2007, 2006, 2007, and it was fantastic. The original was unbelievable. Then I experienced it loads of times after that, the time when I experienced it when they first added the strobe lighting instead of the LEDs, I absolutely hated it. The rotating tunnel didn't work. Some of the mechanics are on show, and it really disappointed me because one of my favourite shooting dart rides was getting treated like this. And of course it got better this season, but still not as good as it could have been. Let's go back to your points here. So at Rides Plus Slides says there's no reason to remove it so long as they have room for other things, which they do. It's a popular ride, I don't see why it would leave. Nothing much could replace it in that location. I do get where you're coming from. Now, some of you European fans out there might know a dart ride system that Wallaby Belgium are going to be using next year for Popcorn Revenge. I'm not entirely sure about the name of it. I'll have to research that, so you don't have to correct me in the comments down below or anything like that. But basically, it's basically you enter through, and it's like the building split in different rooms, and each car goes into a different room, and there's a scene happening. Then you come out, then you get turntabled into another room, scene happens, turntable, scene happens, turntable, scene happens. And whether you either back out or whether one by one the cars will go into like a different section, like what Freddie Harris was talking about with the unused doors and the different jump scares. Maybe an extra bit where all the cars, once all the cars have experienced the rooms, like if you have 5 cars per batch, like one waits at the entrance. Well, to be fair, actually no. One, if one's already gone into one bit, and they come out to the turntable while the one at the turntable goes in the first room, and of course the other 3 swap rooms and things like that. And then once they're all done, they all go one by one into that end bit and do like a jump scare bit. That would be a proper dart ride. That would be going back to the classic dart ride. So they could do something in that location, classic dart ridey, but I wouldn't want a VR. VR is the pain of my life. But I do think that they could do something better in that location if they don't improve Duel in the next few years. So there we go. So finally, in your Instagram points, we've got at Lucas_PVFC, say hello to you. It's average, but it could be so much more. I totally agree with that. As much as I want to see them removing it, I doubt they will for a few years. So I think that's a true statement. I don't see it going for a few years yet. There's plenty of other rides they could remove before then. I know Spinball will probably go, Rita will probably go. I know Toadstool's coming back for next year. Apparently they're bringing it back, so that'll bring a bit more life to Cloud Cuckoo Land, but I don't know if there's much hope for Cloud Cuckoo Land now that Charlie looks set to become the Alton Towers dungeon. It's not been confirmed yet, but with Merlin Magic making on the site, it's pretty sure 99.99% or just all but confirmed that it's going to be there. So Cloud Cuckoo Land's not really got much life, so maybe those attractions might go, and I'm really sad about that. What I want to do with Cloud Cuckoo Land is sort of not rip the whole area out, but sort of close it off and sort of turn that part of the park into like an indoor area, kind of like what Motion Gate are doing with their DreamWorks Zone. I would like to see a DreamWorks Zone, because of course if you guys remember from Alton Towers back in the day, Shrek 4D from 2011 was cancelled and they didn't have a ride for 2011. They had to go with a brand new show, the Go 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 Show. Go 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 Go. I'm not going to be doing a Grease meme. But I do feel like something like that should have replaced Cloud Cuckoo Land a couple of years ago now. But back to Duel. Duel won't be going for another few years yet. I think they've got some life in it. If they continue making improvements, maybe it'll up the lifespan, but I don't see how long it's going to last, because they could easily put another dart ride in instead. So there we go. So that's all the stats and history. That's all your points from Instagram. So thank you very much to everyone who's put points on your Instagram. Again, if you've got any points about any of the news stories, message me and I will put them in the video. Message me on Instagram at EricChandlerOfficial. So what do I think overall then? Personally, I agree with some people. I think Duel won't be going for another few years yet. But I do feel as if Duel's time is ticking. I know Zoe from I'm in Its Theme Park said that it secured its future, so I do get where they're coming from. I know Charlotte from Theme Park Worldwide says she likes Duel, so there's a lot of people that like Duel. Yes, Zoe and Charlotte, I did message on Instagram Zoe and Charlotte. They gave their opinions, so Charlotte's not sure about what would replace it. Zoe said it's secured its future, it's a good ride, it's a decent ride, it's scary, I guess. But some people like Duel, some people want it gone, some people want the guns gone, some people want it fully replaced. Some people just want bits and bobs refurbished, but in my opinion, I think it's got a good few years left in it, and then it needs to go. Whether it's just a full refurbishment or just a fully replaced dart ride, nothing like a Darren Brown. After the problems that Darren Brown had, I would not like another Darren Brown. I think Thorpe Park should be revitalising their options with that in the next few years. If Darren Brown decides to pull out from the project at all, then they should be revitalising their options and putting another dart ride in there at some point. So there we go. So that's the video on Duel. Then I've got 4 more videos to pre-record. And then again next week, so this will be interesting. So thank you very much for liking this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any extra YouTube content. That means there's only one more thing to say. My name is Clamshell. Keep living the coast life, my dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day.